Patrick, this is like red meat for you. I know it, but I can't believe what British Columbia might be doing to their rental market. Take us through it because this kind of stuff scares me, and you are 100% right to be concerned.
Well, listen, I think the short story is that it seems like the BC government is determined to shut landlords down, to shut the rental market down. They've added and expanded on what they already have in terms of a cap of how much you can raise rents. Now they've added to that called vacancy control. Now, I shouldn't say they've added to it, it's on the table. And can you believe it? They're actually talking about when somebody leaves a unit that is well below market rent, they're still going to cap how much you can raise rents. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but ultimately they're trying to shut down the rental market, so it seems.
What the is this? I don't know.
I mean, this would be absolutely atrocious, Patrick. But let me just understand. I want to play this back to you, and you tell me if I'm reading this right and if I understand it properly. So in Ontario, which the rules in Ontario are just as ridiculous as BC, but in Ontario, same as with BC, when somebody you're in a lease, whether it's a month-to-month lease or an annual lease, you can only raise the rents by X percent, 2.5, 1.7, 1.8, whatever they determine that year, which incidentally is always below inflation, by the way, never considers interest rates, by the way, never considered. Anyways, I rant enough. But usually the saving grace is when somebody leaves and that unit becomes vacant, now you can go to market rate. So you can increase as much as you want. It could be double. Whatever the market will bear, whatever the market rate is, that's where you set your rents. And then things are okay because often if you're cycling tenants every 3, 4, 5 years, you're typically okay. At the end of the last tenancy, you're going to be significantly under rent, but then you go back up to market rents and it's typically okay. That's what's been going on in BC and Ontario. Are you proposing? No, I know you're not proposing. Are they proposing that we will not be able to raise them to market rents after somebody leaves and they're vacant? Is that really what you're saying?
Yeah, believe it or not, that's exactly what they're suggesting. Now, a BC MLA, Sonia Firstino, I think is how you pronounce her name, has suggested, and she's actually introduced a private members bill to amend the Residential Tenancy Act in British Columbia to enable vacancy control. Here's her story. She's suggesting that when people now move out of those units, to get them back to market rent, just as an idea, or to give you some insights into that, a 2-bedroom unit has increased 33.5% last year. Victoria was 37%. In Ontario, it was 40%. She's going,
that's absolutely crazy.
Not taking into consideration the fact that that's how much below market rent it is. So she's putting this bill, she's tabled this bill saying we're going to put in rent controls. I'm suggesting rent controls so that you can, in fact, not raise rents into market rent. You're going to max them out at the same as the rental cap, which is whatever it is, 2.5, 1.7, whatever the number happens to be. So as you can see, it makes absolutely no sense. And if it wasn't just the belief how severe incompetency can be within our bureaucratic government and how detached from reality they can be, you would have to say they're intentionally trying to shut down the rental market. But that makes no sense. But apparently they are, in fact, that incompetent and that detached from what reality is of doing business as a landlord. If you like what you learned here, go to the description below and subscribe for our free Insiders newsletter, where you can also stay up to date for our upcoming events and our courses.
If you want to see more stuff like this, click here. If you want to see the entire show, click there.